Okay guys, so let's dive in and let's start the mixing process. I don't think this one's going to take that long. We only have like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks and then a bunch of drum percussion kind of tracks. So I don't think it's going to take that long, but let's dive in and just start mixing it. And don't forget, when you're mixing, really all you're doing is getting things balanced, getting all the arrangement, all the parts that you've put together. You're just making sure they're heard. And how we do that is the main points is obviously volume, and then panning, and then EQ. Those are some of the main ones. And then we use a little bit of compression, and we use a limiter to get those levels up and make sure that nothing's gets distorted. But really we're just, mixing really starts with the arrangement. So let's go in, let's dive in here. Let's just go right from the top. Actually, what I like, some people call it top-down mixing, and so I like to have everything going and just kind of tweak it as we go right from the beginning. So let's just dive in. Okay, the first thing I hear is the electric guitar is a little bit woolly, or it's a little bit warm, a little bit too mellow, or it needs to be a bit brighter. There's too much, maybe 250, maybe 350. Let's see. Cool. So I got a new plugin that I just recently got. It was on sale and it's like 29 bucks or something. This is a great company, and so I was like, oh, absolutely, jump on this. These are great EQs, so I'm just going to try it out. A lot of the time when I do pick up a new plugin, I'll play around with it and see how much I do like it. One of the functions here, I do like just boosting the output a little bit sometimes. And then there is a little bit of drive here. I do like that drive. And then this does have a little higher frequency around 28. So I'm going to see what that sounds like. And then I'll probably do a low cut, just cut off maybe on 140. Let's see what that sounds like. So the cool thing about this plugin is these are very musical frequencies, and so you click around them and you find the one that you like or you don't like, and it's very easy to do by ear. That's it. I like that. So one of the things I love to do on bass is I put a LA2A on it. It's a great thing for mono instruments, great thing for bass. Any track that well, I love it on vocals and bass. It's been my go-to for a long time on bass. So let's just dial it in. We don't want to put too much, maybe -3 up to maybe -3 of gain reduction. Play bass. It just made it more present. So over here I've got another great company. Very inexpensive plugins are great. Highly recommend these. This is built by Rob Shirelli, phenomenal mix engineer, and so I just crank it up. This is kind of like an analog channel, and so it sounds good, especially when you combine a few of these in the mix. I'm dragging and copying that over because it's already set at like 20 max. This one I think is on 0. So yeah, so I just go over to the other ones and drag them over. So it's actually quicker than clicking, going into it, dragging, and then going back. So you just copy and paste. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. This slide, let's maybe put a bit of reverb on that. What I'm doing here is I'm just sending it to a reverb, and over here I have a reverb that's already set up. I have a low cut on this. Anything below 560 I'm cutting out, because you don't, sometimes the reverb you can end up putting a lot of low end stuff in and mixing up your, muddying up your mix just because it goes through the reverb and then there's low stuff in after the reverb. So always kind of cut that, always watch that. Sometimes you might want a high sparkle, cuts at 20k, but that's fine for me. Now these plugins work really well when you dry them. That's how you get a little bit more warmth. If you want a little bit more warmth, you've got to try and get up there into the orange. Even the red will distort a little bit. It's not actually a true distortion. It's more of an analog distortion, but it's warming it up. When it's way down here in green, you're not really getting the warmth of the sound. So let's play it where there's a little bit more slide. Getting a little bit of orange, it's still got a little bit of green there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring down this. Oops. I'm going to just grab that. You can do this with so many different plugins. I'll just do it. This one's right here. So I'm not going to put anything through it. I'm just going to pull up the trim. So I'm giving an extra 12 dB of gain. So that means before I go into this plugin, I'm just cranking it up. I'm just making it louder. So there we go, get some nice red and orange. That sounds so much better. I'm just going to pull it back down. I don't want it too dirty. But that's just a simple way. You can do that with so many different plugins, just turning up a volume. Whatever plugin you have that has a gain, you can turn it up. And there's also other plugins. I think Trim. I used to use Trim a long time ago. Let's see if they still got that. I think it's by Avid. Is there a Trim? There you go, Trim. That's another one. Just turn it up. So that's another one, nice clean plugin. A lot of them will have, a lot of your DAWs will have a way to just turn up the track. And I prefer not to do it inside here because that's the output of the track. That's actually going to be, after you've gone through the effects, that's the output that's going to be sent to the thing. So I want to go before the plugin, so it goes into the plugin and it's nice and loud. So that's how you do that there. Nice little trick. It's good to know. Okay, so let's, maybe too much reverb, I think. And you know what? I actually think I want to drive these a little bit more as well. So let's do the same little trick there. I will do it with the trim actually, because I don't think these are driving into it much. I can hear the bass is a little loud, so I'm just going to turn that down. Let's see what it's doing on the bus here. Alright, the drums are obviously really way too quiet, so let's turn those up now. A little bit unbalanced, I can hear a lot of the kick, so let's just turn down the kick a bit. It's all these guys. So let's do a group kick, and that should turn them all down when we go like this. Alright, so I want to make sure some of this stuff is clean too. So I'm going to put a low cut or a high pass filter on some of these big snares. So let's just put there mightn't be some stuff down there, or there might be. So we're going to see, I'm going to put 2 on here. We're going to use my new one, and don't want to distort or anything. All I'm going to do is just use this down here for the cutoff. Oh, it's not there. There it is over here. So I don't need, I think about 280 would be fine to cut off. Okay, so I said to you that we'll see how much there is, or I wonder how much there is. Look at that, there's a ton of frequency. We don't need everything from there, that's all we need. All this stuff down here is just going to muddy up our mix. So let's see what it comes up as. Yeah. There it is up there. So let's see what came out after this plugin was put on at 280. I took out. Let's see what came out. Let's see. We're both up. Before. Oh. And the after one. Okay, look, so it's before. Look at all that. This is afterwards. It's really cut a lot of that out. It's a nice smooth octave drop there too. So that's what we want. I'm just going to copy that down. I don't need the others on there. Now, a lot of the time you don't need to put too much, you don't need too much processing on these samples. You know, they already come in they've already got a ton of processing on to make them so huge, and so they're pretty much ready to go. A lot of the time these are ready to go, and I might just put a little EQ on, but you don't need to put compression, and you can if you want, but you don't. They've already got a lot of the time they sound great out of the box, so you don't have to do much to them. So don't think you have to. I don't want any reverb on the kick. I want that nice and punchy. These have already got a ton of reverb on, so I don't need to put any more on that. This chain down here, let's get rid of some of that lows out of there. So I'm just going to copy that down. There is a bit of low there, so we're just getting rid of that. Alright, then we got a kick and don't turn them down. Those are the melodies. So I might cut out a few of these these claps here. So that didn't quite hit. That didn't hit really as hard as I wanted to hit. So let's see why. Okay, so there's a few things that need to be tightened up. Obviously, this one's in a little early, and this one's a little late, which I just want it really punchy. So especially after that break. So now I need to go back to the editing and make just re-edit it or make sure it's a little tighter. So let's just move this up here, right on the grid, right to the one there. Do a tiny fade, and then this one needs to slide back a little bit, and this one needs to be pushed back a little bit as well. This one needs to be pushed forward. Just really want that. I don't want that lazy, I just want it really punchy. So let's see if that helped it. Yes, instantly it's a little bit more punchy. So make sure those kicks, so those kicks are actually a little late. They're all a little late. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to actually go over here, and they're the tiniest bit late. But I'm actually going to move them all forward, all of them. Not like that. All right, I got to grab them all. Right here, right there. Let's just move them all like this. Let's see what that sounds like. And this little chain is a little light. It needs to be a little bit more on top of it like this. Not like that, too much. So maybe like this. Too much on it as well, so maybe it's back. Yeah, maybe that's it. So let me undo that and just push it back a little bit more. Yeah, maybe that's it. Let's just, I feel like it's late though. Let's see. Yeah, let's make it worse. Let's see if we've got another chain that I like better. Let's see if these ones are better. I like that. It has extra noise. We'll cut that off. Let's use this chain. See if that's a better chain. trim the beginning. Let's flip it now. We need to reverse it. Try and get it to hit where the snare hits, but kind of a reverse thing. A little fast. Too fast, so I'm going to do another trick here. I'm going to time stretch it, see if this plays with it too much. A little too much, but maybe it could work. Let's see if that works. I don't know. I don't think that's working either. So I'm just going to go and do this thing with a snare. You pop the snare down, grab this one, and then you just flip it. You just reverse it, and you do that with that chain. That's the kind of sound I want. Let's see if we can make this one work. So it happens right on the snare there. Reverse into the snare. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why. Sometimes if you can't get into if my internet goes down or something, it drops me and then I can't. What a pain. I have to resave it and then reopen it. Alright, bear with me. It's annoying. It's done that a few times today. It must be the router. My router is playing up, so yeah. So you get to see the endless mirrors here. Alright, so when this opens up, we'll jump back in. Alright, open up the session. Oops. Alright, still waiting. Yeah, I'll have to disconnect that thing that's checking to see if you're online, because as soon as you don't have an internet service or the internet doesn't work for a second, then you that's what happens. Alright, coming back to where we're at. I might see if I can keep the that chain on, see if it works. Yeah, I think it might work. Let's just drag a little bit over. Too much. Too much. Okay, so this is a classic example of you start getting buried down in you just start getting and you're missing the bigger picture, and you're just working on this chain. No one's even going to know that I dialed that in so much. So I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to copy that and just drag them to the all the ones that I have ready to go, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oop, not 6. Drag it to there. Drag it over to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're done with that. So let's do these now. And over here. All right, we're going to turn that down just a bit. Get rid of that. more punchy. Alright, so that kick is a little woolly, or it's a bit boomy, and so I'm actually going to put an EQ. I got a feeling they've probably boosted it in the low mids or somewhere around there. So let's see what they got, and I'll pull that out. There it is. So that boost right at what is it? 108. So the boost that is in the lows though. So. That's amazing what that did. Alright, so now we're getting into more of that mastering stage, or the mix bus. So I just clicked on the EQ. I just want to see what I'm hearing as well, just to confirm it. I got a little bit more, too much low stuff happening. It's a little bit more, still pretty warm, and I want some more bright stuff. So instead of taking out any more low, I'm going to actually, I think we're missing more bright stuff. So we've got a couple of ways. This plugin here is pretty nice. We'll just boost up the treble, and just get this going. No more than -3 of gain reduction. This is a really nice plugin to put on your mix bus. Alright, so now going to this plugin. I love this one. It's my new favorite. I'm always, every month I have a new thing that I'm kind of jamming on, and I really like this one. I set it up as big bottom, and that was a preset. Now we're just going to kind of play with some of these parameters. This is going on the mix bus before it goes to the master bus, and that's just the way I kind of flow. This could actually be on the master bus, but I'd have to move it around. So this is fine, going into my Pug child, and then going into the dangerous, the backs EQ, and they all do little functions. You know, they all have little different little things that I like. So and they add to the overall sound. So keep going. This is a really cool plugin. Let's just pull down the low end a little bit, because as I said before, I'm getting a little bit too much low, and it's boosted a little bit there. So let's actually pull it down a little bit. It's not much, but it's just a little bit. That's a little bit better, maybe a tiny bit more. I like that. I thought that sounds nice. And I'm actually going to go over now to this is kind of like a limiter, brick wall limiter, and so I want to put a little bit in there, but it's not my main brick wall limiter. So I'm actually just going to pull it down a little bit till it starts to hit 1 or 2, just to kind of get the sound that you have here. Yeah, that's nice. It's just all these like 0.1% really just make something really smooth. So let's go through now and start our mastering process. So again, I don't want to do much here. I'm just letting the needle kind of just flicker a little bit. I don't want to do too much work here. Many hands make light work, and this is actually just a preset that comes with it, and it sounds great. It sounds really nice. Yes, nice. So then the back's EQ, all I'm doing there is taking off. I'm cutting from 12 hertz down. I'm just cutting it out. So that's going to just give everything more headroom. I'm taking off 70 off the very, very, very top. So let's just get rid of that. That's all it's doing. Oh, actually, I'm boosting a little bit of them. What am I boosting here? At 7.1. Again, these are musical frequencies, so it's nice. Sometimes it's nice to have these frequencies already dialed in, because then it's they're very musical. It makes it sound very musical. It's hard to make it sound wrong. So I've got like 0.5, not even 1 dB. What do we got here? I think it's so it's half a dB of tiny bit lift at 7.1. And both these channels are linked. So all right, then the next one we got the Amex. This is a great plugin for doing the mids and the sides. The mids are the middle section, the middle section, or the mono, you could kind of say, and then the sides are the stereo field, or the left and the right. Now this also has something called a mono maker, which makes everything in the whole mix, if it's below 144 or 150, whatever you set this at, then it's going to go through the middle, which is what you want. That's how you get a tighter and punchier low end. So everything comes out there. And all I'm doing here is not much. Again, got a little bit of stereo width going, not much. And something, they have a plug, they're called the THD, some sort of harmonic distortion that's their patented sound, and it sounds great. I like it. So this is on and off. It's really nice, as you can see. Now, of course, this is one of my favorites too, Shadow Hill's compressor here, the master bus or mastering compression. Again, I'm just going to get these levers just to touch a little bit. And again, you know, when you first buy these plugins, go ahead and you don't have to read the manuals, just watch the tutorial and just see what everything does. And this has a lot of knobs on it, but the way I'm using it, it's all linked. So when I move this over here, it moves the one on the right side. You can see these two kind of moving, and then you go over here, so it's all doing the same. And then, you know, you discrete gain, it's all linked, so there might as well only be like a handful of these channel plugins here. Bypass in and out, you know, it's you know, you watch the tutorial and you'll get it. So that's what I always do when I buy a new plugin. All right, last but not least is the limiter. Again, we don't want more than -3 dB of gain reduction, and sometimes I'll go back and I'll be like, what instrument is hitting this to make it work, to make it go over what I want it to? And then you can actually just go back and physically turn it down, or put another compressor on, or you work with the compressor to stop that channel. And you'll see it could be the drums that are coming through too much. We'll see. All right, it could be the drums. Let's pull the drums up and see what happens when I mute them. It actually could be the electric guitar. Oh, the main lead melody. Let's have a look. I'm hearing a lot on that kick, so let's turn these kick down. I think I have my group still going. I think it's also these snares. So I might just turn the output down. I'll just turn it down over here. No, I'll actually go to the channel. So we got this one at 17. Let's go down to 20. 20. Great. I think I'm happy with that. I'm actually going to go down and we're going to mix this down. We're going to shoot it down and or I should say bounce it down, export it, whatever your DAW calls it. I think we've got the first mix. Of course, I'm going to come back to it tomorrow morning with fresh ears and have a listen to the MP3 and just see if it's see what else we need to tweak. Usually it takes 2 or 3 mixes for me. You know, some of the levels, or maybe just overall it might be too warm still, too little too much 300, 350, maybe 250, somewhere a little bit too much in the low mid, like there's a lot of low sounding stuff in the arrangement, and so that we might have to play with that. So let's have a look. So let's go ahead and print this down, and yeah, and we just got to give it a name and we'll print it down. So awesome, guys. So hopefully that's been helpful. Go ahead and start your track. And if you haven't already, and if you're in any of my groups, then obviously then you're going to be submitting that in 1 month's time. So work on that. If you've got any questions, always just reach out, and I'll help you get over those questions and have fun. Awesome. See ya.